What are police to do in a situation like this where thieves think they can do basically whatever they want and get away with it? Let's ask former police commander in Anne Arundel County, Maryland, our friend TJ Smith. So, TJ, you're seeing this in a lot of different communities. What do you do in law enforcement when people feel like there is lawlessness in their communities?
Well, it's really tough. I mean, you can applaud people like Mayor London Breed in San Francisco, who's kind of pushed back against this after it got completely out of control there. But it's very difficult because the banner has been waved of we're not prosecuting quality of life crimes. And now we see that people, and we can't paint this with this broad brush that all of these individuals who are doing this are people that are suffering from the effects of the pandemic, whether it be a lost job or lost wages or what have you. That's not the case. These are thrill seekers and these are criminals, many of them. So we can't paint it with a broad brush. And unfortunately, many police officers, law enforcement, their hands are tied and they can't prosecute some of these folks.
Right. And it is really a crime of opportunity, TJ, as well. They know, as we said, it's easy to commit and it's hard to catch and hard to prosecute as well. But I guess the other thing is, to your point, what you just said is that these small crimes or seemingly small crimes are really starting to impact the quality of life in these communities.
Oh, absolutely. And you have to look at the ripple effect from these. You look at some of what happens. The 1% tax is passed along to working class residents of the community. It's not going to impact the criminals. It's going to impact the people who are suffering from the inflation, that are suffering from less wages and higher taxes everywhere else. They're the ones that are going to have to pay for this. The people who have to get medications from those pharmacies that might close down might not be able to get them from their local pharmacy anymore because the pharmacy decided to close and move elsewhere. Just here in Baltimore, just this past week, we had a clerk at a 7-Eleven get shot chasing a shoplifter. Of course, that's never recommended. We always tell people, comply with the bad guy. It's not even worth it. But again, they're getting emboldened and more emboldened. And as they get more emboldened, they react and they do things, and bad things can happen. And some of these things turn into robberies and turn into violent robberies.
Right. How do police juggle this? I mean, we talked about it with the store owner, Derek, there, TJ, and how do police handle when, you've got now carjacking is spiking. We've seen situations where officers in January, anyway, seemed like they were being shot or shot at every other day. There's a lot to juggle, and we didn't, say it outright, but this is something that police probably, they have bigger things to do here than shoplifting, and the criminals know it.
Oh, I mean, it's not a high priority call. This is something that will get held for minutes upon minutes, if not hours, in certain locales, just because there might be other priorities that they have to get to. And realistically, as quickly as it's happening, we're wearing masks, for crying out loud, in plenty of cities right now. So if you can't identify the person, how much effort is going into a misdemeanor theft? Because the threshold has been raised to $1,000 in many cities. And again, we've told them that we're not going to prosecute them. Who are we telling people? Who are we telling this to? Why are we telling them this? We can work on trying not to over-incarcerate, but we don't need to tell people you can steal up to this amount and we're not going to do anything to you. It's unfair to these mom and pop shops especially, but it's affecting corporations. It's affecting big-time multi-million-dollar corporations. No one can afford to lose $200,000 in a week. I don't care who you are, and it shouldn't be allowed. We have to prosecute people who think it's okay to do it. And that's not fair to anyone.
TJ Smith, former police commander in Anne Arundel County, Maryland. It's always good to have you, TJ. Take care.
Likewise. Take care.
Down to the events.